And our second keynote speaker is also an inspirational speaker, and that's Emilie Cortes. Emilie is a motivational speaker and adventurer. She is best known for being a small woman who climbs big mountains. Emilie is also the former owner of Call of the Wild Adventures, a women's adventure travel company. She won the 2015 Ben Chamber Entrepreneur of the Year Award for her efforts building that business. Previously, she worked in the investments field, which we heard about a bit with Mary, for 17 years before leaving the corporate world to chart her own path. She holds an MBA in finance from Berkeley, I see a connection here, and an undergrad in international business from American University. Emilie is deeply involved in the community, and you can often find her speaking locally, teaching outdoor skills, out and about on the walls, climbing at Smith Rock as well. Please help me welcome Emilie Cortes.
I have a feeling we know who the keynote's going to be next year. Sarah, you'll be up here. All right, next slide, please. So I want you all to check this out. Wait, not this. The next one. It's going to be an Atlantic Monthly slide that says, there we go. When women and men are applying to jobs, it takes a woman to believe she has 100% of those job qualifications already in the bag before she'll even apply. And men, it's only 50%. So what are we doing, women? We have to know that we're going to do it before we even try. And guys, what are you guys doing? You need a little more experience before you apply. No, I'm just kidding. Happy to see all the male faces joining us tonight. But I think it comes down to this one really fundamental issue that we all face, and that's fear of failure. We women will not even apply to something until we're 100% sure we can do it. Fear is a very, very powerful thing. And I'm mostly known for my tall tales from the mountains, but I'm going to share a little bit about how I get through fear of failure, because I want you all leaving tonight feeling like you can accomplish things and come up on this stage someday. When I graduated from high school, I was in the top 10% of my class, but I didn't even apply to college. I did not apply to college. As a combination of low self-esteem, common for high school girls, and no parental guidance, but I didn't think I belonged and I didn't even apply. Thankfully, I saw what my peers were doing, and because everybody was studying for and signing up for the SATs, I did too. And because I could follow instructions, I filled in the little bubbles, and I sent my scores off to a few schools. I literally got an application, a pre-filled application back from the University of Houston, and that's how I got to college. I completely took myself out of the running and fell into college. I almost fell off the radar screen. Now, when I was facing going to college, I was totally intimidated. I was certain that the entire rest of that student body was smarter and had more resources than me. I was petrified. And it took some time for it to get through this hard skull of mine that I could hack college when I made the dean's list almost every semester while working between 1 and 3 part-time jobs at any one time to get through college. It started to sink in, and I started to dream bigger. And then I decided I wanted to transfer to American University because I really loved languages and international business. So I actually filled out an application that time and wrote some essays, and I applied and I got in. And I was so delighted I was going to go to Washington, D.C. and fulfill my dream. And then those waves of anxiety came over me again. And I was certain that that student body was smarter and had more resources than me. But that fear motivated me, and I worked my tail off because I was sure that I was going to fail. And when they called me and said, hey, would you be willing to carry the flag of the business school at graduation? I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like, is this a punishment? I don't understand. Why do I have to do this? And they're like, oh, no. It's because you graduated first in your class. I could not believe it. And remember, I did not apply to college. So I really believe that there are many, many times that we actually take ourselves out of the running. We're so afraid to fail that we won't get off that couch or leave that safe office or cubicle or even unsatisfying relationship to take a risk where we might actually succeed. And if you don't do that, you never, ever know what you're capable of. So let's talk a little bit more about that fear that drives us. It serves a real biological purpose. It's supposed to keep us alive and keep us safe. But when you think about all those times that the fear hits you, new situation, new job, new city, whatever, and you just brace and you go, oh my God, I can't do that. I think I would rather stay at home where it's safe, right? But if you follow it through and you say, what does failure actually look like? What does success look like? What is my body trying to protect me from? I usually realize that I'm not actually going to die if I don't get that job. I won't actually be killed if my nomination doesn't result in winning, right? Now, there's a little bit of a difference between scary and stupid. So I'm not necessarily saying feel the fear and do it no matter what, because there are times when, like, getting in a car with a creepy stranger or skiing those avalanche-prone slopes, fear is telling you something. So it's more a message of when you feel that fear, take it and sit with it and try to understand what purpose is this serving me? What is it trying to tell me? What am I afraid of actually happening? And what if that happens? What if I get up here on this stage and I totally bomb? You know what? A year from now, none of y'all will actually ever remember. And I won't die. But I'm going to do something this year that some people think might be stupid. I'm going to Afghanistan. Twice. And am I scared? Yes, I am. But I'm going to do it anyways. Because I thought about what the risks are and how to mitigate them, what my strengths are. I have extensive experience traveling in developing countries, leading women and girls, high altitudes. So when I was offered the opportunity to lead an expedition in Afghanistan of young Afghani women to their highest standing peak, Mount Noshak, at 25,000 feet high, I said yes. I said yes. Thank you. So y'all might think that's stupid. Thank you for clapping, though. But for me, it was just scary, and I had to sit with that and think about it and go, my God, the rewards of being part of something like this, of lifting not just Afghani women, but Afghanis up. Only 2 have ever summited this mountain, and it is a destroyed country. Afghani pride, female rights, it's worth the risk to me. So think about that. What is your fear trying to tell you? And how are you letting it hold you back? I bet very often you're not actually going to die if you do that thing you're afraid of. So 2 more, actually. There's the girls. Now, finally, success and failure, they go hand in hand. I feel like there's a lot of kind of failure shaming, that if you aren't successful, then you need to hide it. And so we can go to the next one. I've been to so many panels on entrepreneurship. I am an MBA, after all. We go to lots of conferences, hear lots of successful people talk. And all of them, lauding these successful people, mention, I've had tons of failures along the way. Of course I have. But they rarely actually delve into them. And they still kind of create this aura of effortless success. But I want to hear more about those failures. I want us all to be more resilient because we're not afraid of them, because we'll talk about them, because we'll support each other through them. So that's why I'm here today. I won the 2015 Entrepreneur of the Year award. Thank you. And less than 12 months later, I filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy of my company. Don't worry, Sarah, it's not a curse. If you don't know Call of the Wild, we provided trekking, backpacking, yoga expeditions all around the world for female clients and female leadership, and it was very rewarding. But the travel industry is and is becoming an exceedingly difficult industry to work in. It has thin margins, fierce competition, disintermediation is a real threat. All y'all clients out there have really high expectations. And there's tons of unmitigatable risks. So just in those 3 years, the last 3 years that I ran Call of the Wild, I faced Ebola. I faced the Yosemite fires twice, the Nepal earthquake, the Nepal fuel shortage, the government shutdown, even the shootings at the University in Nairobi, all affected my trips, and I lost thousands as a result. So I came to a point where I realized I had put everything I had, emotionally, financially, and even physically, into this company. And I faced the specter of failure. And I was petrified. I was like, what are the clients going to think? What are my supporters going to think? What are the guides going to think? What's the Ben Chamber going to think if I fail? But once my attorney filed those bankruptcy papers, and I felt the intense sense of relief, I knew I'd made the right decision. And I began to understand that my business failing was different than me being a failure as a person. Thank you. So back to those annoying entrepreneurship panels. Just kidding. At the Muse conference on Friday, love y'all Muse, it's so awesome. There's a panel on startups, again lauding some very successful local women. And I was so grateful when the moderator asked them to really expound on their failures and their perspectives on failure to help the people in the audience understand that success is not linear. It's not the only thing. You have to have some learnings along the way, and those learnings, that feedback, that's failure. And my favorite answer came from Jamie Danick of Hum Kombucha. Are you here tonight, Jamie? Good, then I can talk about you. So if you don't know Jamie, she is a powerhouse of positivity and passion and enthusiasm. And by most standards, Hum Kombucha, and I'm one of their customers, is becoming this wildly successful beverage company. So when asked about failure, Jamie looked out at the audience and she said, "Get used to it." I was like, yes, get used to it. I'm just getting used to it. I'm on my way. Because that is reality, that you can't move forward and be in line for success if you don't take some risks that could result in failure. Fear is what keeps us from taking those risks. So I want you all to leave here tonight and really think about what you're doing and what you're not doing because of failure, and how you can ask others to support you on your journey to take more risk and have more impact. So if you take yourself out of the running like I did, you're failing already. You have to put yourself in opportunity's way to be successful. And you have to realize that those fears, those things, they're not actually going to kill you. Fear's not your best friend, it's just a signal. And then that success and failure go hand in hand, and get used to that. So I want to leave you with one final thought, that in life and in business, you either win or you learn. You never lose. Thank you.
So I could listen to her all night long. I don't know about you. I feel encouraged. And how wonderful. I think we all need to say yes more, and let's say yes now. Yes! All right. Okay.